First of all, the Portray Selector pool is only up to Recoleta, Aleph, and Ulrich. True limited characters don't exist here either, and you can only choose the character that you already have or own. So if you don't have the character, then you can't pick their portrait. Starting with the follow-up team, the first best P1 choice we have for this archetype is definitely Flutterpage. The extended happy buff duration from her S2 will give you slightly more room for other cards, so you don't have to use her S2 card every round. In terms of nuking rotation, for example in the Dynamo team, it will give you more room for their Dynamo shenanigans. And if you are using Liang Yu, her special zone can further extend the happy buff to 3 rounds, which is insane. But let's say you already have P1 Flutterpage, then my personal pick for this archetype would either be P1 Vatutu for the extra self stacks, P1 37 for the extra self crit, P1 Winsong for the increased multiplier on her S1, or P1 Lopera. Specifically for P1 Lopera, the increased crit to C damage conversion ratio and erase crit buff is pretty huge, which I already made a separate video of here. Moving to the Impromptu team, the first choice we have for this archetype is Aleph, but unlike with Flutterpage, the reason we pick his P1 isn't for the extended happy buff, but rather is to make him closer to his P2, because that is where we'll get the 3 memorized cards. So if you want to do an Impromptu gut nuking rotation, you will still need to continuously use his AP card, so he can get his ultimate ready by the 3rd round. His AP card itself doesn't just give you an AP buff, but also adds a +1 Impromptu attack instance, so it isn't as bland as Flutterpage AP buff. And the 3 memorized cards from his P2 is definitely gonna be a game changer, because your Impromptu buffs are mostly locked behind your Impromptu's battery or charger's incantations. Just make sure that they have enough Eureka, because in order to get the effect, they will need to consume their Eureka. And I think this is the reason why some people think Matilda is trash for Impromptu, because they probably still use her cards even though her Eureka is depleted, which won't give you anything. Now if you have P1 Barcarola like me, picking her P2 is definitely good, because this is where the gap between Matilda and Barcarola is truly gonna be seen, thanks to the increased Impromptu crit and C damage. Otherwise, just like with Aleph, you can pick Barcarola's P1 to prepare for her P2. Next, for the ultimate team, the first best P1 choice for this archetype is definitely Recoleta, simply because it increases the precast you can get to 2. There is also Melania and Noir, but I don't think their P1 is urgent. I have P2 Melania and I can safely say that the extra thief stack can be situationally clutch, just in case you need to steal the enemy's Moxie. But yeah, that's all there is to it for me. As for the rank up team, the first best choice we have is Marcus, not for her P1, but to prepare for her P2, because the reduced Eureka needed to up her card from 2 to 3 star, gonna smoothen her rank up cycle by a bit. Next to her is Villa, just for the slight multiplier increase on her crit and C damage buffs. There is also Mercuria, but her 5-star cube fixed her Moxie problem.
This'll help. To read. To transcribe. Time to turn the page. I can't read it. Now it's easier to understand. To read. Great. No mistakes. To transcribe.
Moving to the Poison team, the first best choice we have for this archetype is Tuesday, but again not for her P1, but to prepare for her P2, because this is where the multiplier increase would matter. As for Willow, after Ezio's release, her situation is kinda sad. May she get her Euphoria soon. For the Bloodtithe archetype, we have 3 choices here. First, if you're going for the Nautica team, then your choice is P1 Semmelweis for the slight increase in the array buffs. If you are going for Eternity 2nd Euphoria, her P1 is gonna give you the slight multiplier increase for her ultimate, which is where her main damage is coming from. There is also P1 Ezra, so you can easily exploit his passive for an easy ultimate looping, but it isn't necessary.
Please cease resistance. Power from the soil.
Last in line we have Dynamo, and only Ulrich as the choice. His P1 is gonna strengthen his debuff and ultimate buff that he gives, which is good for Lucy and he himself. It is also to prepare for his P2, which increases his ultimate attack multiplier quite tremendously. As for me, I'm torn between picking P2 Barcarola or P1 Flutterpage. So even if I pick P2 Barcarola, I probably would never upgrade her, just like how my P3 Ezio is staying at P0.
A visit out in the wilderness.